Hey, I'm Pascal from Orange Pixel, and I'm the guy responsible for Residual. I did the design, the programming, the graphics. If there's anybody to blame for this game, it's me. But if you enjoy the game, that's also thanks to me. This little video is to show you some of the gameplay and a little bit further into the game, give you some tips, tricks, and pretty much just show you what to expect from the game. It's a pre-recorded stream, so if you have questions, make sure to not drop them on the stream, but drop them on Discord instead. I'm usually there. Except when I'm sleeping, then if everything goes to plan, I'm not there. And if I am while sleeping, don't ask me any questions because that could be very wrong. Anyway, let's just start the stream. I have a saved game prepared on a very nice planet. I picked out this planet just for the stream. Not all the planets will be this awesome and amazing. I'll get to that in a minute. Let's just start up the game and I'll talk you a little bit through it. Alright, so the planet that we are starting on is, like I said, pretty great. There's a lot of fruit and vegetation here. Not all the planets will have this amount of vegetation, and then it becomes a very different type of game, but that's the fun of it. In this case, I'm a couple of missions into the game and I need to acquire some sealant and refine some quartz. Now, finding certain resources can be a bit of a problem. At the start, it will be very much at the top and at the surface, so that's the easy type of resource. But the further you get into the game, the deeper you'll have to go into the planet to find these resources. And right now, a sealant, as a gamer, you probably don't even know what sealants are. But luckily, any new type of resource will have a little notification thing above their head or above their being, and that will make it very clear when there is something new to discover, and you will soon enough find sealant. Especially sealants are easy because there are multiple kinds, and there is one type that is a plant life sealant, so hopefully we'll find that one, because the other are arachnid eggs, spider eggs, and those are usually guarded by a very big mummy spider. So I kinda hope we are now finding the plant type. And this is a little puzzle that we added to the game. I'm not gonna spoil too much of the puzzles. You will see them happening here and there, but they are pretty easy to figure out. Sometimes you just need to craft stuff or find stuff to operate them. And here we have a nice little thing that needs to be opened. There are some branches, so we have an axe. We already created it and crafted it to chop some trees early in the game. And this is a little device where we can find and first place some raw quartz, and then we can find a data cube. Data cubes are important. They can be found at different places, and they actually contain ancient knowledge to craft certain items and gadgets that you will eventually need to, like, get rid of these annoying little electrified thingies. There are some data cubes that will give you the knowledge on getting rid of those. And oh well, this isn't easy. This is no fun either. These plants are everywhere. They don't really hurt you, or you won't die from them unless you're very low on health already. But the game is very forgiving, and I wanted to create a game that is accessible by everybody. So there is the option to just have death disabled. I think that's actually the standard, the default option. You won't die if you lose all your energy and health. You will magically appear back in your crashed spaceships thanks to PDB, your helpful bot, and you will have lost a couple of days and maybe some resources, but you will still be able to continue on the planet. This is really what I wanted to do with this game. My main goal for this game was to create a planet or an experience where you can really just lose time and just dive into a planet that's your own. Nobody else is bugging you. It's your planet. You're the only human-like creature there, and you can just do what you want. If you want to go fish for a couple of hours, you can just go and fish in any of the pools. And if you want to do exploration, that's also possible. There's a path that will lead you as low as possible into the planet, but there will be a lot of other areas that you can still explore, and there will be things you can find over there. So these are nice eye catchers. We just retrieved some data cards. Data cards are everywhere. They kind of tell the story of what has happened on this planet, but also in this whole part of the universe. Like I said, there are many different types of planets in the game, and there is this whole universe, and something happened here. There's no story that explains it, besides these data cards and holograms, they will eventually tell you a little bit about the story. So as you can see, I already have a bunch of gadgets and devices placed near my crashed spaceship. You will be able to build these devices, and then they will be able to provide you with new resources or modify resources. In this case, we have a silo here that is connected to another device. That device will generate output, and all that output is automatically placed in the silo, so you can get to it later. This is important because sometimes the resources you dig out of the ground can be very attractive to creatures that live here, and they will eat or devour or whatever. They will use those resources, and you will have been digging for nothing. So silos are very simple but very interesting to have. I already have some data cards, so I now have a bunch of new little things I can craft, but for now we're not gonna be needing any of those. We're just gonna go back downstairs into the cave and continue our mission, because we're still looking for a sealant, 4 actually. But if we find a good resource for sealants, then I'm pretty hopeful that we will get those 4 out of it, or maybe even more. For now, let's just move back, because this is not the right path. This looks much more like a pathway. So let's push some rocks out of the way. And when you're exploring, you always want to make sure you have a path back, especially when you're starting to get low on health and energy. Your jumping and your movement will be less. So always make sure there is some sort of safe pathway that will allow you to get back to the ship, or back to a certain point in the level or in the world, or back to a certain point in the world where you will have resources to regain strength, or set up a campfire maybe, or do some fishing. Let's see if we can actually catch some fish. There are some tiny and big fishes in here. It's just a matter of waiting for them to bite the fruit. And well, there's a weird sheep-like creature in the water, and we have our first fish and a big rock as well, which will come in handy also. Now let's see if we can just catch this big one. Alright, that's a lot of fish we have now. Fish is eatable raw as sushi. It will provide you with a little bit of energy, but if possible, oh wait a minute, we have a new type of creature right here. You can scan creature DNA. There are over 3,000 creatures. I think we even have over 3,100 creatures now, and you can scan them for your Residex, and you can figure out if they are violent or if they are carnivores eating flesh, because you are pretty much one of the few meaty resources on the planet. So if they like to eat meat, they're going to be biting you. So again, it won't kill you, but it will not be great for your health and energy. And these guys, well, if we can just pet them a little bit, that might calm them down. Let's see if we can teleport back to the ship. And we have our backpack that is broken, and we have a data cube. So first we're gonna check the data cube, see if there's something there that we will be able to use. And then we have a backpack that needs fixing, but our nanobots are empty, so we need to create a couple of new nanobots for the printer. Nanobots are made by graphite, so we also need to make sure we have enough graphite left. We still have some graphite, so I'm just building more and more nanobots so that we can actually fix the backpack. If your backpack is broken, and it's a random event that happens every now and then, stuff will drop out of it. So you want to get it fixed as soon as possible. And you also want to make sure you get enough sleep. So sleeping at the ship will restore some of your energy and some of your health. It is very important, or a lot better, if you make sure your energy bar is full first by eating some food, because then your health bar will recharge a lot better and a lot quicker. But you will always be able to restore both of those bars slightly. So even if you are completely empty, get back to the ship, take some rest in there, and it can take a little bit of game time waiting for it to just restore your bars, then go out back and hunt for food. Right now we have all the bars full, so let's continue on the mission. Right, skipping ahead a little bit more, we are now at a spot where there's like a big door here. And even though this planet, this whole universe is pretty much empty from human-like creatures, there is a lot here that shows you that there have been humans here. There has been a civilization, a technology savvy civilization. There is a lot of technology left and right, and something's going on here. We just need to make sure we survive it all. Right, so making sure the spiderwebs are gone. They're just slightly annoying because little critters come out of it. We now grab a broken gadget, and if there's anything broken or anything that needs to be created, you have your EDP, which is the ship's replicator printer type thing, and that's all explained in earlier missions. Now we have a fixed now we have a fixed gadget from the EDP, and we can place it here, and that should allow us to open this door. Now you want to be careful with these doors. For some reason there are always or very frequent slurper-like creatures hanging underneath. So you don't want to rush through the door because you'll be picked up by one of those creatures like they are here. And so we keep running and don't want to get eaten today. And another door. So let's just go through it again. Let's get through these rocks. Grab the broken gadget. And we need to return to our ship. And it started raining, which is, well, this is just normal rain. There is also toxic rain, in which case you'll better get out of it. But there's no toxic rain today, so it's a good day. Placing the gadget, door opens up and we will be able to enter it, but I already see something moving. Like I said, there's often these plant-like creatures are hidden behind these doors. And you have to be careful. Now, we don't have any fire with us, but we are luckily in nearby with all these glowing plants. And we can grab a little glow stick from it and light our path that way, which will save us creating some fire. We can actually mark our path this way so that we also know how to return. So these glowing sticks or these stems are one of the examples of how this planet is both your biggest enemy but also your best friend. There is a lot of resources that you can find and reuse or use for your exploration and survival. And in this case, this just gives us a lot of light, which means we don't have to create a fire, which takes time and resources, and this is just the quicker way. So let's continue a little bit and see if we can find that sealant. Alright, so here we have this sealant. This is a plant version, luckily, so we don't have to fight or avoid any of the big mommy spiders. And as you can see, our mission list now changes, giving us the next couple of missions. Create a metal plate, create silica tiles. Now, I think it's best to just head back to the ship and start creating those metal plates. For that, we will need a new device because we need to turn metal into metal plates. And luckily, we have a metal compressor for it. And we need some nanobots to create those devices. So pretty soon I'll be having to find some new graphite because we're running out of graphite, creating nanobots, and those nanobots are needed to create these devices. It's all connected. Right, and now we're constructing the metal compressor, or EDP is constructing one, and we'll be able to pick it up and place it or pretty much anywhere because it doesn't need ground resources, so this one can be placed anywhere you like. The input is pretty easy, it requires metal, and the output is metal plates, so we just need to add some metal to it. Alright, we have 4 metal shards left, and we need 4 metal plates, so that's gonna be very tight, but it should be enough. But it wouldn't hurt if we add some more, find some more metal. We have our metal. All right, we still have our metal deployment. We still have our metal mining device, so let's just we'll set it there and get it to mine some more metal. And we have our first metal plate here, and my backpack is damaged, and our device is being attacked by this drone. Right, that's not gonna be very helpful. Let's see if we can get rid of the drone maybe. Place the metal, and I think we have our econium transmitter. No, that's... Yeah, I think the econium transmitter will get rid of it, or at least scare it slightly. And that should give us some more room, and it will leave our metal deployment device alone, so it can go mine for metal. There are still 3 plates left, 5 silica tiles, and we need to fix our backpack. So stuff is dropping pretty quickly, so let's quickly fix it in the ship. We have some nanobots left. Fix the backpack, and I think I dropped a mushroom, so yeah, another metal plate. I want my mushroom back, and I want to add more metal because we're not done just yet. Let's see how our device is doing. We have some more metal lying around here. And now we're creating our final metal plate, which will allow us to eventually fix and repair the ship. We should now create a silicon refinery. Alright, I now have my silicon refinery, my metal plate compressor. I just need to now refine some silicon, then I'll gain knowledge to create a furnace, and then we will be able to burn it into silica tile. So this is slowly how you build out a whole base, and these devices can all be packed up and placed anywhere in the world. So I just prefer placing them near my crashed ship, but especially mining devices like graphite, you'll have to dig deeper into the planet to have any purpose with those devices. So some devices can be placed at top, and other devices you'll have to take with you and go deeper underground. Now let's see if we can create those silica tiles and fix the spaceship. As you can see, the night is already falling. Background is slowly turning darker. But we now have our silicon, and we now gained knowledge to create a furnace. So let's create that furnace. We still have nanobots available. We have the furnace. Let's see if we can find a nice spot to place it. Let's move this a little bit out of the way, and then place our furnace right here. Now the furnace doesn't take a single type of resource. You can actually place different things into it. Well, actually you can place any type of resource into the furnace, but a lot of resources will just burn up and do nothing. So you'll have to play around a little bit with it, figure out what works and what doesn't. In this case, we're gonna first refine some raw quartz, which you can find pretty easily in the game world, and we're gonna refine it to pure quartz, and we're gonna burn that pure quartz into silica tiles. Now the night is falling, and I don't want to get cold or anything, so let's create a little fire and wait for the refinery to do its thing. And it will it's connected to the silo, so its output will be added to the silo, and we can then grab it from the silo, and that way creatures won't be grabbing it. So so we now have 5 quartz in the silo. Let's grab those items from it, all 5 of them, why not? And we can now put those pure quartz resources into the furnace, and it will generate silica tiles for us. And it's a nice warm fire, so we can get some rest at it as well, which is a bonus. analyze the new resource. It's a silica tile. We need 4 more, so let's just add more of the pure quartz into it. Alright, skipping ahead a little bit, we now created all the silica tiles, and I just want to show you a little thing about the furnace. I remember I told you about sushi, raw fish. You can also cook it. You can actually cook it in the furnace, so you don't need to create a campfire or anything. Just put it in the furnace and you'll get some cooked fish. And cooked fish will pretty much restore all your health and all your energy. So that furnace is a pretty neat tool, and there's a couple of other things you can do with it. I'm not going to tell you what, but let's just fix the ship. So the ship is now repaired on the outside, but we need more resources to get off this planet. First thing is we need more sealant, 1 more, so I should have grabbed another one when we were down there. And we need a couple more metal plates, and for that we need more metal. And our metal mining device is already packed up here, so there's no more metal right here. Which probably means that we'll either have to find a spot at the surface, or we will have to dig deeper. As soon as when you're holding one of these mining devices, you will notice all these blue squares everywhere. They will indicate and show you that you can mine there and place it there. I'm not feeling very comfortable with all these creatures there, so let's see if we can empty this silo, grab all the deuterium in it. 5, 4, 3, 2, and whoa. Alright, generator we fixed previously has broken down. I'm not sure if we're gonna get to that in this video, but that happens every now and then. And you almost feel like a janitor in this game at times. Alright, placing the silo here so that all the metal that we're now mining is not being eaten or taken by any creature. I just want to be sure of that and certain. And we're gonna go create these metal plates. We have 3, we have enough to create 3 metal plates. And that's our last metal plate. Now we just need to go back down, and I think we have our teleporter still there, and we have some sealant right here. So we don't need to go very far. Just grab the sealant and we get new missions. Find the lithium, fix the subspace sensors, and fix our backpack. Let's go back to the ship and start with the last one. And we should be able to also fix the subspace sensor because that's inside the ship. So that's not a very difficult one. The problem is going to be the dilithium. We need to find it, and I haven't seen it on the planet just yet. It should be there, but we'll have to dig deeper and explore further into the planet to find it and to make sure we'll be able to get back. This is what I mentioned before. You want to make sure you got a way back, and we could easily jump and swing our way off this ledge right now. But if we're low on health or energy and we need to get back, I prefer to have this little bridge here, which just requires a little bit of wood, but it will allow me to more easily cross this gap when we need to, and when we're maybe lower on health or energy. So let's swing to the other side here. Let's get some fruit. And let's see if we can light as many things on our way down, even oil on the floor, which is a great way to also light your way and understand where you've been. Getting rid of the cobwebs, and maybe see if we can find another interesting data card. Now these devices, for some luck, only require raw quartz. Every now and then they will require a resource that is much more rare, and then it's gonna be a little bit of a guess. Do you have enough of that resource to just place it in a device, or do you prefer to keep that resource and use it for other purposes? And here we have a little tiny puzzle, or at least let's just activate this one, and then it's not a very difficult puzzle. We just need to activate these electronic devices and the door should open. Very simple puzzles like this. Some of them are very platformy, so you have to just jump, because these things you have to do it within a certain time or it won't open. Other puzzles will be more focused on just a little bit of knowledge or maybe some resource gathering. It's fairly easy stuff. I didn't want to create a very challenging game, or at least not in that way. I want to mostly have a game that everybody is capable of playing. And we actually managed to find some dilithium here. I almost paused and ran by it. It's not a lot. We still need 31 dilithium, but it's a start. And now we need to craft a power source, but we don't have the resources for this. So we'll need to be able to hunt for some resources. Let's see if our metal mining device already... We need to get... Alright, random events happen now and then. And now our ship is a little bit in danger of this ooze that's everywhere. I'm not going to tell you too much about that ooze, but we need to make sure the spaceship is safe, because that's our only ticket out of here. So luckily I created a gadget that's still placed over here. We don't need it here anymore because our device is gone. Let's grab it and place it near the ship, because it will get rid of the ooze nearby, which means our ship will be safe for now, and that's a good thing. And while we're here, let's also see if we can fix our subspace sensor, because there's too many missions getting in my way. I just want to get rid of this mission. Grab it from the ship's computer, place it into the EDP, fix our subspace sensor. And all of this requires nanobots, and for that we need graphite. Mentioned a couple of times before. Just want to make clear that we need graphite for creating all these devices. And to be honest, I'm currently not mining for graphite, so I have a little bit of a problem. But alright, we need to repair the ship. For that we need metal plates and everything, but we're gonna do that a bit later. We'll need to find some dilithium. Alright, so on a quest to find more dilithium. We're a little further into the game right now. Still need 14 dilithium. And I'm just going to start a fire right here. And if this one gets out of the way, of course he decided to plant himself on my campfire. But luckily we unlocked some EMP device here. And he's electrical, so place EMP and get rid of that device, or that creature. Start a fire because I need to get through these cobwebs. Now we can run through cobwebs. It just slows you down and it creates little spiders that bite you. So I prefer to grab a little bit of fire to get through them. And let's light as much fire as possible as we try to find the last couple of dilithium crystals. Still 12 to go. Let's see if we're... Oh, alright. Bad creature. There's... Okay, I'll get back to the left. If you saw that, I'll get back there in a minute. For now, let's just continue on and see if there are some crystals that we can get to on the right side. Behind all these cobwebs and more crystals.
If you pass out, we get to see EDP. Just saying. It's okay to pass out.
Let's go back to this gate thing, because you probably already noticed it and saw it. We only need 4 dilithium crystals, and I see them here and there, so I'm pretty comfortable. We'll get them, but let's get to this. I'm not gonna explain how to or what to do with this gate, this hypergate, not a stargate, hypergate. But I do give you the tip to find it. Every planet has one. Find it and figure out what to do with it. And thank me later. It's gonna help you if you actually interact with this thing. So all right, luckily we have our last dilithium crystals over here, and we should go back to the ship. Fix generator. We'll get to fix that generator later. I think we're gonna explore a little bit more and then get back to the ship, repair the ship, and then there are still a host of missions before we actually get to take off from this planet. Now, at the beginning of this stream, I mentioned this was a pretty comfortable planet. There's a lot of fruit, a lot of water and fish, and there's just a lot of vegetation, and that's good. Not all planets are like that. So I just wanted to show you this planet. That's a much colder planet. And as you can already see here, this is the surface. There is hardly any fruit or vegetation available. There is some water luckily, and there are fish. Wherever there's water, eventually there will be fish in there. Maybe not the first time you look, but if you give it some time and check back later, there will most likely be fish in every type of water. So on planets like this, it's gonna be mostly important to get food as quickly as possible and find ways to get food. Fishing is one of them. You can also grab fruit and leave the vegetation, or leave the stick or the stem or whatever we're going to call it, leave it standing. Don't grab the stick, because a fruit will grow back. So if you have just like one fruit plant on the whole planet surface, just grab the fruit, maybe just walk over it and it will drop down to the floor. Then you can pick it up and leave the stick standing. The next day there will be fruit again. So that's a tip, but also you'll have to start getting deeper into the ground or deeper into the planet as quickly as possible, because food, if it's very scarce and there's very little of it, is gonna be your main problem. And every movement you do, running, jumping, climbing, will make your food bar drop faster. So you'll really have to plan out your movements and plan out your exploration until you somehow find enough food that you can last a bit longer. Crashing on a planet will give you a couple of rations, space rations. This is a random number, so if you're really out of luck, you'll only have one ration on a very cold planet. If you have a little bit more luck, you can have up to 4 or 5 rations, which will help you survive a little bit longer. Make sure to fill your flask, which you can fill at any pool, and it will filter that water so that you can drink it. And drink it and then fill up your flask again and take that water with you, because some planets are extremely hard, and that's kind of the fun of the game. You'll never know on which planet you land. For example, let me just show you how big this game is to wrap up this video. The game pretty much creates a whole universe, and this universe has multiple galaxies. The current version of the game, the release version, only has one galaxy available, and that means there are about 125 planets for you to discover. These planets will be the same for all players, but the planet you crash on will be randomly picked throughout these planets. It will pick a unique random one every time, so every game session will give you a new planet until you have gone through all 125 of them. Then it will throw you back on one of the previous planets. So there are solar systems, and every solar system has multiple planets. Like the minimum one I think has maybe 3 or 4 planets, and the bigger ones have 14 or 15 planets hovering around a sun. And how these planets appear is pretty much based on how close are they to the sun, how fast are they rotating and everything. So you get to see most of that information in the universe browser. And as you will also notice, there is a little free play and it says locked. I'm not going to tell you, explain to you how you unlock it. You will figure it out. And there's also a little icon underneath. That's a free play rune. You can also gain those. I'm not going to tell you how or spoil you how to get those. But this will allow you to eventually actually pick the planets you want to play. And that way you can go hunting for all the extras like artifacts, more data cards, more hologram, and pretty much unlock all the extras that the game has to offer. There will be more galaxies coming. There are already a lot of galaxies, but I'm still planning out what the other galaxies will contain challenge-wise. They will be completely different from what we have now, maybe more challenging. Like I still want to add fire and lava type planets to it. They will just require a player to at least have experienced the Proxima galaxy, the main one, and then we'll open it up. So there is a lot of planet and a lot of content there, and you can use the F1 button in the PC version to create a snapshot or a postcard. You can drop that postcard on the Discord. There's a channel, Residual postcards, I think. Yeah, post office on the Residual channel. Drop your postcard there. I like to see where you end up and what you're doing and your surroundings and everything. There is a lot of room for more planets and galaxies. A lot of that depends on you. So make sure to play the demo, wishlist the game, buy the game when it launches. And it will be available on Xbox, PlayStation, Switch, alongside PC. So lots of opportunities, a lot of options to play the game and explore a universe full of content and adventure. And hope you like this stream, because this is the end of the stream. If you want to see how this game was made and how other games are being made, make sure to check my YouTube channel over there. There's a whole playlist showing you how this game was made from start to finish in like 44 episodes, around that. So there's a lot of content if you want to see and listen and hear more about this game and what it has and all the mysteries. And thanks for watching. Drop on the Discord and I'll see you there or in the universe.
If you die, does that make me captain?